Today we are going to discuss why professional drummers all follow a specific warm-up routine and how you can design one for yourself as well. If you are passionate about drumming, then this will sound familiar. As drummers, we aim to deliver a high-level performance every single time we play. Whether it's a practice session or a live performance, consistency is key. And yes, we all know about those bad days when nothing seems to work. It's okay to have a bad day when practicing at home by yourself. But if you are a touring musician or have to record an album, then you got to make sure that you are at your best as soon as you sit down at the drum kit. No one wants to hear excuses from the drummer that he wasn't feeling good that day, or that he couldn't play that fast double bass part because something was off. My friends, no one cares. There's no room for excuses right here. So while I was playing with Belphegor from 2009 to 2015, I had a specific warm-up routine that I followed religiously. And after interviewing dozens and dozens of other touring drummers at the Drum Team Academy, I found out that they all have one thing in common. When it counts, when they have an important gig, they all have a specific warm-up routine in place. And I'm not just talking about random singles and double combinations with hands or feet. Actually, the exact opposite. They know exactly which exercise, at what tempo, and for how long until they are ready to hit the stage. A well-designed double bass drumming warm-up routine is an amazing tool. It helps you get ready for band rehearsals, for an important live gig, and of course for your studio sessions as well. The aim here is to get ready to perform, and even if you're not having a great day. So let's dive straight into what makes an effective warm-up routine. Warm-up duration. Your warm-up should be just long enough to prepare you for peak performance. It's a balancing act. It shouldn't be too short that you're underprepared, nor should it be too long that you're exhausted before the main act. Now, regarding our favorite warm-ups, most routines we love at the Drum Team Academy are short. They only take about 10 minutes to complete. Purpose. Remember, the goal of your warm-up isn't to push your endurance or speed limits. You are only doing this to get ready to hit the stage. So now let's talk about my two favorite double bass warm-up routines, sorted by difficulty. So we're gonna start with the easy one first. Each warm-up consists of 3 big building blocks. Building block 1, we want to focus on blood flow exercises. 2, we want to focus on developing a feel for our pedals. And finally, 3, we start to ramp up the tempo. So let's start with my favorite beginner double bass warm-up routine. This one is for drummers that are able to play up to 130 to 150 beats per minute. At those tempos, most drummers just use their upper leg, or they use a mix of upper and lower leg. So this workout looks something like this. Building block 1, blood flow exercise. To start out, I just do 2 minutes of squats non-stop. You don't have to push yourself right here. Just keep a steady, consistent pace. That's it. Remember, at this point, we just want to get that blood flowing. No need to exhaust yourself. For the second building block, we want to develop a feel for our pedals. One exercise that's easy to do at those tempos is a regular timetable exercise. So start playing eighth notes at 100 BPM, then switch to eighth note triplets, and then to 60 notes at 100 BPM or single strokes. Switch back and forth between those 3 note rates for about 3 minutes. Right now we don't want to push the tempo, we just want to get a feel for our pedals. That's it. Make sure that your feet always stay in touch with the footboards at all times. If you are a beginner and 100 BPM seems too fast for you right now, then just decrease the tempo to 90 or even 80 beats per minute. That's perfectly fine. Now let's talk about the third building block of this warm-up routine. Right now we want to ramp up the tempo. So increase the tempo by 10 beats per minute right away. So if your starting tempo for the second building block was 100 BPM, then your next tempo is 110 beats per minute. Start out by playing 1 bar of eighth notes with your right foot, followed by 1 bar of eighth notes with your left foot, followed by 2 bars of 60 note double bass. That's it. Repeat this for 1 minute straight and then increase the tempo by 10 BPM. After 5 minutes of this exercise, you will be playing at 150 BPM, which was our goal tempo for this warm-up. Again, if this is a bit too fast for you right now, then just lower those tempos. In total, this warm-up takes 10 minutes and works great for beginners. So, finally, let's talk about the second warm-up routine, That's my personal favorite. This is the routine I use at almost every practice session. Be aware, this one is a bit more advanced. Right now we want to include the ankle technique as well. So let's start again with building block number 1, the blood flow exercise. This one takes 2 minutes to complete. I start out with 1 minute of squats, followed by 1 minute of standing calf raises. After 2 minutes, it's time for the second building block. At this part, I want to develop a feel for my pedals again. The second building block takes 4 minutes to complete this time. I start out with 2 minutes of 60-note single strokes at a slow tempo, in this case at 110 beats per minute. Right now, I want to make sure that I use a mix of upper and lower leg, as always. So I actively try to use my calves as well. That's the classic heel up technique. The reason why I don't just go for the flat foot technique at this point is that I want my calves to do some of the work as well. After 2 minutes, I increase the tempo to 130 BPM and continue to play non-stop 60 notes for another 2 minutes. So up until this point, I spent 6 minutes on this warm-up routine. 2 minutes with building block 1 and 4 minutes with building block 2. Up next, in the third block of this warm-up routine, I want to focus on the ankle technique exclusively. It's important to mention that at this point, I don't want to push my speed or my double bass endurance. All I want is to get ready to perform. That's it. So for this third part, I either start at 150 or 160 BPM, and all I'm doing is play 60 notes for 1.5 bars straight, and on the 3 and 4 of bar number 2, I switch to 60 note triplet. Right now, I'm just focusing on staying as relaxed as possible. Remember, I don't have to push my maximum speed right now. I repeat a simple third building block for 4 minutes straight. So in total, that's a 10-minute warm-up routine, which helps me get my blood flowing, develop a feel for my pedals, and it allows me to ramp up the tempo a little bit as well, all while staying relaxed all the time. Now for all of you at home, these 2 workouts have worked great for me personally and my students in our double bass drumming program. But everyone is different, so feel free to take elements of these warm-ups and create your own combinations. By the way, if you feel like your pedals are working against you, then make sure to check out our free pedal settings tutorial. You can find the link in the description below. So now let me finish this video with my final thoughts about the importance of a well-designed warm-up routine. We get an overwhelming amount of comments from drummers who are frustrated because the double bass skills are just not consistent. They are having good practice days and they are having extremely bad days as well. Most of the time, a good practice session is followed by an extremely frustrating double bass practice session the next day. And by the way, we all have those bad days. So to conquer those bad practice sessions and still make the best use of your practice time, I urge you to create a warm-up routine for yourself. This will make your life easier and double bass drumming will just be more fun again. I hope you found this video useful. Cheers from Vienna. Bye bye.